Hi, this is Anthony from Over 40 Health and Fitness. Today I want to talk about breakaway sports. So what I mean by breakaway is sports that for you are kind of outside the box. Like, it's not your normal thing. So for me, I'm going to the gym every day. You might be a swimmer, you may be into running or golf or any number of other sports. I'm talking about doing something that's just different. It's a real breakaway for you. Sometimes, going to the gym or swimming or biking or whatever it is we do on a regular basis can get a little bit boring, a little bit stale after a while. And sometimes instead of going to the gym or swimming or whatever you're doing, you may decide, I don't really feel like going to the gym today. I just don't want to go biking today. So you don't exercise. So that's a bad idea. You always want to find something to do. And sometimes it's good to think about something you've never done before. Think about something that's maybe not even necessarily suited to your personality, or you don't think so. I'll give you an example. Years ago, I was living in Newcastle. I'd been bodybuilding for about 10 years or so. And anyway, I moved down to Sydney. I moved to Bondi. And I met a guy down there, Steve. And he had one of those long skateboards, one of those long cruisers, I suppose you'd call it. And this thing was about 1.5 times the normal length of a normal skateboard. And it was really flexible. And you could turn it as you sort of leaned on it. You get a really sharp turn on this skateboard. I was right into skateboarding as a young kid. I think I got my first skateboard when I was about 6 years old. And I was right into it as a little kid. But I grew out of it and got into other sports, and anyway. So when I got on Steve's skateboard for the first time down on Bondi Beach boardwalk one afternoon, I probably hadn't been on a skateboard for about 15 years or so. I would have been in my late 20s at this time. Anyway, I had the time of my life on this skateboard. It was great. I was cruising around. You had these really fast bearings in it, so you'd zoom along, you'd kick yourself a few times, and you just skate along forever on the flat. And it was so different to what I was used to. I was used to going to the gym all the time, and I did a lot of walking. Well, I kind of stopped walking, and this became my cardio. I still went to the gym, but I got right into it. And I met a bunch of other guys in Bondi that were right into it. And then one night, we were sitting around. It was kind of getting late, and one of the guys said, let's go up to Bondi Junction and into the city and go for a skate around in town. So I thought, yeah, I'm up for that. So, we caught the bus up to the top of Bondi Junction and then went skating through the city, through the Sydney CBD. And then kind of around the back, where we were heading, one of the guys said, let's go down the Eastern Distributor, which is a tunnel in Sydney. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but anyone who's from the eastern suburbs of Sydney would know what I'm talking about. And at the time, I thought, oh gee, this is, I got quite into it and I was sort of okay on the board. But, going through the Eastern Distributor Tunnel, even late at night, probably maybe a bit before midnight, there's still a fair few cars around. And then, there's one way in, one way out. There's nowhere to hide. Anyway, these other guys are into it and, they're a little bit crazy. And I thought, oh, what the hell? So anyway, we're zooming down this Eastern Distributor Tunnel, going a million miles an hour, and then I noticed up ahead there was one of those cord things running across, directly across the road. They're those cords that measure the traffic, the amount of traffic that's running along that road. So I saw this thing in advance, and the thing with this tunnel was there were some really strong fans that pushed the air through. And once you got down onto the kind of flat section, you were really zooming along super fast, like way too fast to jump off and run. I mean, you would have been going too fast to jump. You would have fallen for sure. And I saw this cord running across, and yeah. Anyway, so as I got up to it, I just bounced on the board and sort of lifted myself up in the air, and I managed to get over it. And anyway, we ended up sort of coming up towards the end of the tunnel, and it started to slow down as it went into a bit of an incline. And we got out, we got out safely, no one was injured. But, it's that for me was a breakaway sport. Yeah, it's a little bit on the dangerous side. And look, you don't have to do something that's dangerous, but then again, the danger factor adds another element to it. And if you're fit and you're healthy, some of those dangerous sports like skiing and surfing and that sort of thing, there's a certain element to those sports, there's a certain buzz to those sports that you don't get out of some of the safer sports. And it just takes you out of your comfort zone. And you may find that all of a sudden you've got a renewed interest in exercising. I mean, I was a bodybuilder, I was quite a big guy, and I got into this and I started to really lean up, and that was okay. But it was something different for me. It was a real breakaway for me, and it stopped me from going stale. And then when I got back into the gym, I enjoyed that too. So just something to think about if you're going a little bit stale in your sport, or you just need an idea, you just need something fresh. Give it some thought. There's a lot of breakaway sports to do, and you may, like I said, you may get a new renewed interest in sports and exercising and losing weight, whatever's your goal. So, there's a few articles related to this sort of thing on our website you may be interested in. It's quite a vast resource. Over40healthfitness.com.